Hello, welcome to the session on Design of Machine Elements 1. In this session, we will see the steps in design. The steps in design, we can put it like this. That is, the first step, the identification of need, then the synthesis of mechanism or finding the suitable mechanism, then the analysis of forces, then the material selection, then design of elements, that is finding the size and stresses, then modification, and then the detailed drawing, and finally the production. Let us see this one by one. First one, it is the need or aim. The need or aim, here we are identifying the need and stating that yes, we need to design a device. And this device can be used for a particular purpose. We can take this example of an IC engine here. Here we are realizing that we need a device which can convert the heat energy into mechanical energy. So we are identifying that we need a device which can convert heat energy into mechanical energy. So the next step is synthesis. We have to select the suitable mechanism or group of mechanisms which can produce the desired motion. So I have taken this example of a piston cylinder arrangement. So inside this cylinder, the combustion of the gas takes place and it is expanded. We are getting this reciprocating motion converted into rotary motion. So here we need to convert the reciprocating motion of the piston into rotary motion of the crank. So we have to decide which mechanism is capable of doing this. As we know, we have different mechanisms like slider crank mechanism, 4-bar mechanism. But here obviously we know that the slider crank mechanism is a suitable one. So in this phase we are finalizing the mechanism which can be used for this particular purpose. That is synthesis of mechanisms. The next stage is analysis of forces. Now we have to do the detailed force analysis. That is, what is the magnitude of the forces acting on each element or link. Because after finding this magnitude of forces, only we can find the size and dimension of the member. So we can see here, this is a conducting rod, this is a piston, and this is a cylinder. So we can consider this line diagram like this. This is the space diagram. So here we can consider what are the forces that is acting on this. So this is a force analysis diagram. You can see each component is taken separately and what is the magnitude of the forces acting on this and what is the direction, what is the nature of stresses developed on each component, that is studied in this. That is analysis of forces. Next step is the material selection. Once we find the magnitude of the forces, the nature and direction of the forces on the element, we can say whether that member is subjected to a tensile stress or a compressive stress or a bending stress. Of course, bending stress means it is a combination of tensile and compressive stress, or whether it is acted upon by shear stress or torsion. If we take the connecting rod of this member, that is, this is the connecting rod, this is the connecting rod, you can see inside this chamber, when the combustion takes place, the piston will be moved in this direction, pushed in this direction. So here, two types of stresses will be acting on this. One, it is tensile stress, and the other one, it is compressive stress. So we have to understand what is the nature of stress that is acting on the member. Usually, the connecting rod is made up of carbon steel or alloy steels. That is a ductile material. The cylinder is made up of cast iron or cast steel. So, depending on the yield stress, that is for a ductile material, and the ultimate stress, that is for a brittle material, we are selecting the material for each component. So the material selection is very important. Now the next phase is design of elements. That is, we are finding the stress, the size, and the stresses. So here we are finding the size of each component. For this, we can take the equations and calculate the stresses. So for example, I will take an example here. We can consider this is a bar and this is a area of cross section, and that is acted upon by a tensile force of magnitude 500 Newton. And the permissible stress limit, that material taken, it is steel. And that steel is having a yield stress value of 100 Newton per millimeter square. So that means if this material is subjected to a stress value greater than this 100 Newton per millimeter square, this section will fail. That is the meaning. Now we have to find out what is the area of cross section of this section so that it can withstand a force of 500 Newton. So first I am assuming that let area is 25 millimeter square. That is, I am taking this side as 5 millimeters and this side as 5 millimeters. So the area of cross section becomes 25 millimeter square. So now I have to find whether what is the magnitude of stress that is developed in the component. So we can take the fundamental equation, that is sigma is equal to P by area. That is, P is a tensile force. So here the magnitude of force is 500 Newton. So I can write it as 500 Newton divided by 25 millimeter. So 25 millimeter square, that is the area. So you are getting the stress value as 20 Newton per millimeter square. So when you apply a force of 500 Newton, we are getting a stress value of 20 Newton per millimeter square. So that is well inside this 100 Newton per millimeter square. So we can say that the design is safe or the assumed direct area of the section is same. Now let us see if I take a value of a 2 millimeter square. So what will be the value of sigma here? Sigma becomes, the value of sigma will be equal to again 500 by 2 if the area is 2. So what is the stress value we are getting? It is 250 Newton per millimeter square, isn't it? So this value of 250 Newton per millimeter square is greater than the permissible stress limit of the material. So that means it will fail. So here two areas has been selected. You know that when you select an area of 20, means area of 25 millimeter square, it will be, the design will be safe. So here we are finalizing the dimension of the component. Okay, now let us come back to this. Next stage is the modification. Here we can make modification in the size of each member based upon the past experience, and also we can consider the manufacturing and cost reduction conditions. Then the next stage is a detailed drawing. A detailed drawing of each component and the assembly of the member of the machine with complete specification for the manufacturing process is prepared here. Now the last phase, it is the production. The component as per the drawing is manufactured in the workshop. So these are the steps involved in any machine design process. So in this session we have seen the steps involved in the machine design. Thank you.